show, and that is going to be our next thing out of the gate. So we got sport, then we're going from sport to the juniors, and then we're going right to racing.
And we're going right to racing. There we go. There's the Bellamy clan right there. Blake and Michael.
Hi, Blake. Hi, Michael.
I told you, outlaw towing in the house. You ever see that towing wars, like, you know, the parking wars? That's what them guys do in Georgia.
Oh, my gosh. Really? He's over there laughing.
It's like South Beach towing and stuff like that.
I love it.
Boy.
Well, I'll tell you who else, Blast from the Past, is going to be out here racing with us. Billy Dearman.
Billy Dearman is here. Yeah, I know. I seen a Facebook post by him yesterday why he was thanking his wife for allowing him to come and do what he loves the most and staying home and watching the kids. And we'd like to say a special thanks to Miss Tony as well for letting Billy come out and play with us.
That is so cool. So Billy Dearman, welcome back. It's great to see you on the national tour. Boy, you picked a good year. Again, I just want to pump up the fact that we are actually going to be, for the first time, back on broadcast TV. That hasn't happened since the Big Red Tour.
That's right. Yeah. That was 97.
Yep. So
1997.
We have national television coverage. That is going to be happening. The final couple of rounds, the last 2 or 3 rounds, and then the World Championship for the first time in Naples, Florida, Mike.
Naples, Florida. Yeah, we already talked about Naples, and we already gave you a hint. The first thing you do when you get there is put your stuff in the hotel room and call Mamma Mia's Pizza and order a big pie.
You know, I tell you what, I think it's only appropriate as we talk about this stuff that we get Mr. A.J. Handler on the microphone to give us some of these great announcements. First off, A.J., a huge acknowledgement for you that you pulled off such a big coup. I realize that was a lot of work to get CBS involved this year.
The only thing I really can say is I have a lot of love for this sport. We at Pro Watercross, we really care about putting on a great event. That's our focus, you know. And besides putting on a great event, is creating the customer service for all our athletes. You know, so we want them to enjoy the event as much as we enjoy putting it on. It's like Chris McCluggage says, you know, I love my job going out there. Well, Chris, I love my job too. You know, putting on these events and having these guys here and playing host to them with the city too as well.
Well, you can certainly witness the level of professionalism as you walk up and down the pits, but everything even before you get to this race site. You guys have done a phenomenal job. I want to acknowledge and huge kudos to you for building a rule book this year for your association, building this national tour, and then, of course, to all of the crew at ProWatercross.com. Just all of the logistics, AJ, to get these guys here. It's a tremendous amount of work, and you guys are spot on. I'm really excited to be a part of the tour again this year.
Well, thank you. Actually, after we did our last national championship, we had a few goals that we really wanted to accomplish. One of them, which, you know, was working with the organization that we were with, and we tried really hard to work with them to keep everything intact. But but we at Pro Watercross, we want to be more than professional. We really do, and so we focused on the membership. We got that, and just the Delta discounts. I had one of the racers tell me that they save thousands of dollars when they book their flights through Delta, and that that within itself was a great a thanks to me,
right,
at Pro Watercross. So so we worked on the membership. We got that done. Our other staff worked on Utah. We got Utah nailed down. And then our next goal was to finish that rule book, which was it was very daunting doing the rule book because we had to get attorneys for the rule book.
Yeah.
We had to go to the insurance and making sure that everything was the way it's supposed to be.
I'll tell you what, I had a great friend of mine who is a very successful businessman. He said, when you experience a cup of coffee at Starbucks, you're focused on the end product, right? Which is a good cup of coffee.
You got it.
But you don't realize all the systems and processes that have to go in place to create a successful business. And I really just want to acknowledge Pro Watercross. You've stepped up every single year. You've put all the processes and the systems in place. And I tell you what, hang on, because the next 5 years are going to be phenomenal. And I'm telling you, this CBS thing was a huge, huge deal.
We got invited to go to Snowcross, and I got to meet the producer of CBS Sports, and I actually got to sit inside the booth which is going to be at our World Championship. But there was, I like to say there's probably 10 people in there. The producer made 11, I made number 12. And it was a great experience going there to talk to those guys because, the producer said to me, he goes, look, AJ, I know we're interested in what you're doing and you're interested in being on our network. He goes, I can't explain to you how this is all done. You need to come down there. So, a big shout out to CBS Sports because we drove out there. They treated us like VIP. I mean, they put us up in the hotel, had the meetings with them, saw their whole entire operation, and it was I was blown away by their hospitality that they have. And when we host our World Championship, I am going to return that favor to them because they're planning on coming and being there for it.
Wow, that is awesome. So you guys, again, I want to encourage you to be at these last couple of tour spots for sure, but come to the whole national tour. I don't want to miss you for any of them, but these last couple for sure, we want to have everybody here for the televised.
The whole original thing was that they wanted to do the whole national tour, and I already had committed to Ian and Jerry, and it was a very difficult difficult process that we went through, and they finally said, look, we need to shoot the last two events because we need background on these guys. We need to have the footage. It's an hour-long TV show,
right.
Okay? So, one of the things that we're changing in the sport is no more 2-minute hold for the pros. That's gone. And we're also going to, like Supercross, we're going to a one-moto main because, folks on TV don't understand why the guy in second place won the overall championship. So what you see on TV is going to be a truly world champion,
Right.
And it actually speeds up. It does two things. It speeds up the process, and it really puts us in a nice platform with CBS. And I'm really excited about it because it's not only good for pro watercross, and that's what most people don't understand. Oh, they got CBS, It's not, you go ahead and you say that, but it's all for our athletes.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to want, they're the ones that are going to be approached because as Snowcross, they were explaining to me what CBS Sports did to them. All these people come out of the woodwork, like, all the oil companies will come out. They were sponsored by Ram. All of a sudden, these teams are getting sponsored by Toyota, and then you got GMC, who are sponsoring racers.
Right.
So, the cool thing about it is, one of the racers during the interview comes up there who was sponsored by Nikita, and he's got this Nikita drill up there, which is awesome, and that's what they're getting paid for, to win and show their product up there.
Yeah, it totally is, and I'll tell you, that actually will be the thing that'll take us to the next level. We desperately needed it, and I would say if you pointed to the one area that this sport really was lacking, and that was the national coverage. So for you to be able to bring that back to the sport is a huge deal. Ladies and gentlemen, we do need to, real quickly on housekeeping, I need to have my final practice up on the line. I noticed they're not here yet, and that is the junior practice. Our final practice, junior practice, need to have you guys back on the line. But AJ, back to you and this whole concept. You're right. We've got the opportunity now to go to the next level, and really just the next 5 years. And you're already seeing it. The international riders are taking a big interest in coming over and being a part of this. We've got Marshall Brown here this weekend from New Zealand, a phenomenal rider, but a big advocate for the sport. I hope to introduce you to him, actually, if you haven't met him.
Okay.
And he's aboard the new K1. So we've got just so much happening. I think it's a great acknowledgement to you and to the entire crew.
Well, CBS Sports and a lot of our sponsors opened up a lot of doors. They really have. And I just want to, acknowledge Jet Trim. Jet Trim was phenomenal on getting on board. It didn't take them too long to, for the decision. Jet Lift, came back.
We got Jet Trim here this year. Really proud of those guys.
I am very, I'm sorry. I am very excited about that. And
did you just call me dude?
I did.
It's all right. I'm like one of the crew.
Yes,
is
you are.
awesome.
And and a big thanks to the Train family stepping it up with Hidden Trails. I was very blessed when that happened.
I tell
know?
you, those guys are so cool. I love Trey and Cameron both. I'm bummed they couldn't be here this weekend, but what a huge acknowledgement for them. And the reason they can't be here, this is the great part, right? They're building another motorsport facility.
That's right.
That is awesome. It's hard to be successful, I guess.
It is,
It's good to have those guys. So I guess we will see them in Pensacola, or not sure?
We're not sure.
Okay, hopefully.
He texted me earlier yesterday and said, I am so bummed, that I can't be there. And I'm like, Dave, would you like me to say anything? Just tell him I miss them all, and thanks for coming out to the Hidden Trails National Tour,
Boom, baby.
So,
We've got a lot going on this week.
And Yamaha is also very excited because it is the Hidden Trails Yamaha National Tour.
Oh, now see, I have not been saying Hidden
Yeah.
Trails Yamaha, so I'll make sure I get that in. All right, extra plug there. Once again, I do need to have all my junior riders. Junior riders, I need to have you out on the track ready to go. Junior riders, this is going to be our final practice, and then we are going straight to our first moto.
Okay, go ahead. So, during the riders' meeting, I kind of explained the 2-minute hold, and I explained the
Now, is that
the
for
format.
everybody? I meant to ask you that.
No, that's not for everyone. That's just for the pro guys.
Okay, for all the pro classes, though?
It's going to be for the GP.
Okay.
And it's going to be for the Pro Open.
Pro
as
Open.
right now, yes.
So that's
And
pro
then-
ski.
And as we move on through our platform of the Pro Show, we were going to implement the rest of them on that. So eventually it will be all the pro classes.
Okay, but not
'Cause
necessarily today. I just want to
that-
get clear on the announcing so I didn't mess you up.
Today for the GP, it's full on.
Okay, okay.
So when you show up, you see a 2-minute hold, it's not happening.
That's so scary as from a rider's perspective. It's going to be neat for us, but
And my understanding, and I've been in the sport since 83, 84, and I've talked to a lot of the guys that have been around for a very long time, and one of the questions I asked them was, look, do you recall why the 2-minute hold came up, and what was the purpose of it? And I'll give you one that I still talk to, and I don't know if you know him, Bob Macias,
yes.
And I spoke with him for a very long time, and I said, I just need to ask you about this. And he called a couple of his buddies, and then he called me back, and he said it was because it was the 2-strokes. They were hard to start. That was the main reason. So, and they
Interesting.
kind of stuck all the way straight through. Oh.
Cliff's over here saying he's the one that told you that. I just wanted to give that guy a little bit of prop. Special, by the way, thanks to our race director, Cliff Roy, coming back and joining us again for the 2015 tour. I tell you what, this guy keeps them in line all weekend. It's really fun to watch him. Again, guys, I've got the junior riders, and then right after this, 1 second, AJ, we are going to be going to our first race of the day. And that is going to be our premier classes. So we're going to that Pro-Am Runabout Open class is going to be our first class out of the gate. So just wanted to alert you to that so that you would be ready. So Pro Open, you are going to be our first one. Oh, should we go? Oh, have we been doing that again? We're not talking to our camera even though we're live. I was talking to Richard earlier, and he was saying that we already had like 20 listeners. So I'm not even sure what we're up to now. 440, 400, 4 million listeners. Don't trust a word I say. All right, I'm here with, I'm the cute one. Here's the other cute one, AJ Handler, and Don Dawson here, and of course, streaming live, and the most beautiful place. Oh my gosh, I love this tour stop, AJ.
This is my favorite stop of, I have a lot of favorites, but I really love this spot. Mainly, the main reason why I love this spot is because right behind here, I would say not even 200 yards, not even 100 yards, I roll out of bed and into the beach I am.
I know, it is an unbelievable view when you get up in the morning and you're able to open up the door and you literally can walk right out to the beach, and not just any beach, powder white sand, turquoise, green, emerald waters, amazing view, and of course, I get to hang out with 200 or so of my closest friends.
And actually, I want somebody to come in here because I want folks to know who he is. Chris O'Brien.
Yeah.
He is with the Panama City Beach Visitors Convention
I'm feeling
Bureau.
vertically challenged at the moment.
So I'm going to pass the mic on to Chris and let him take the chair.
Awesome. All right. So I got
Have
Chris
fun.
O'Brien here. He's from the Panama City
Thanks,
Beach
AJ.
Visitors and Convention Bureau. We talked a little bit earlier, but great. Now you're in the beach gear.
That's right.
All right.
I got my secret hat here. It's Marcos Naples.
Oh, Marcus Island. That's beautiful.
My last meeting when I worked for them was with AJ,
Oh, really?
setting up the national championship.
Oh, very cool.
And I moved up here to Panama City Beach in January. So
Awesome.
Love
And
it.
very excited to be down. I've never been to Naples either, so that's going to be pretty cool to go
I
hang
really
out.
like it down there.
Will I? All right.
Yes.
Now, again, you had some great tips earlier for me. Where do I go in Naples when I get down to Naples?
Down in Naples, you guys will be on Lake Sugden. It's a great area. It's going to be an awesome venue. They have stands, right, controlled settings. Should be really good. Down there, they got shopping. They got Fifth Avenue.
Shopping.
Yes, shopping. The beach, easy to get to the beach there. Lots of nice beach. Not
can't
quite as nice
wait.
as our beach.
Well, there you go.
No,
I don't know that you can top Panama City Beach, honestly. I've never seen anything like this. It's really, you guys, probably my favorite time. I have two of them. First thing in the morning, and sunset here is ridiculous.
Sunset is great.
It is so beautiful.
Last night it was a nice red sunset.
So, you've watched Watercross before?
A little bit.
Okay.
It's on TV, not in person. So,
So, you've never seen it live?
I'm not.
Oh,
So
all right.
I'm
So,
good. I'm
here's
ready
the
to see.
here's the tips on that for you, since you've been so kind to share with me. You definitely want to get the opportunity to just head down into the pits and talk to some of the riders. And that's, I think, what is so unique about the sport is, Chris, you can just head down there and talk to them. And none of these guys, there's just not an attitude on the beach, right? So they're a lot of fun to hang out with. But I will tell you, some of the athletes here, tons of world titles to their name. Chris McCluggage, one of the winningest men in the planet, has not the most world titles. The most world titles actually held by a guy out of Canada, of all things. Isn't that crazy? But he has won a ton of them, and he's here this weekend. Of course, Dustin Motzuris, your defending national champion, also multiple world titles. So get down there, talk to some of these guys.
Will do.
You're going to love it. Erminio, who I think Erminio is from Florida, maybe Naples. I'm
Yeah, I
not
think
sure.
he's from Naples,
Is he
too.
Naples? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to get some tips from him, too.
Yes, that's awesome.
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
There's a pizza place down there too, which is a place to go down there for sure.
So logistically, how hard is it to get us out here? I mean, is it a lot of work on your part to get these events?
Definitely, there's a shout out to the hotel here, the Boardwalk Resort. They do a lot to make you guys happy, and also, our office assists with that too. But really, it's AJ and his family and Nick, and really, they're doing all the hard work.
They have to do all the heavy lifting.
That's right. That's right.
And not just, as an analogy. Let's see what else going on.
I want
Boardwalk.
to tell you,
Oh,
we're
tell
actually
me
running
more.
a contest on our social media. Panama City Beach has about 400,000 fans, one of the biggest of any
Wow.
cities around. So we're doing a contest right now with the hashtag PCBPOV. We're giving away GoPro cameras for the best photos. So the other hashtag we use is Real Fun Beach.
Real Fun Beach. Everybody's throwing the hashtags in now.
That's right.
Hashtag Real Fun Beach.
Yep. 'Cause
And
we're
what's the
real,
other
we're
one?
Fun.
Beach. I like
Simple.
it. What was the other one? PCBPOV.
PCBPOV.
And a hashtag.
Yes.
Okay, but you can go straight to your website and check that out, right?
Yes. Visit PanamaCityBeach.com.
Visit PanamaCityBeach.com is the website that you go to. First, you have to go to ProWatercross.com and sign in so you can hang out with us on the stream. And I want to welcome all you guys. We've already got, what is it, Richard? You said 400? 400 people already tuned in. We haven't even started racing yet, but we do have an awful lot of racing coming up. We have just finishing up our junior ski right now on the water, just to get you a real quick water update. And then we're going to be going to our first race of the day, and we're going straight to the pro show. And that race is going to be Pro Open. So buckle up, and as Mike Young likes to say, put your tray tables in the upright position, because we're going to be locking and loading. These craft, by the way, not necessarily today, but definitely capable of going over 100 miles an hour. Isn't that crazy? I know. It freaks me out now even when we talk about the Hydro Drags, which is one of the events that Mike puts on. Actually had a rider going 108 miles an hour. I just can't even imagine. It just pins your eyebrows back, right? So anyway, all that and a bunch of cool action. Craig Warner in the house this weekend. I can't wait to see him on the water. Also, some more celebrity stars. I'm just going to drop names because it's cool. Erminio Iantasca is going to be joining us. So we got Troy Snyder, the Warrior, also going to be out here. Eric Francis made it. So great to have him here, another phenomenal racer. And that's just a few of the names that I got. There's a ton more, and I'll tell you more about them in a minute. Chris, back to you. So
Tell me
logistically,
about the international folks. Where
oh,
are
you
they
want to
from?
talk about that? Well, we have a bunch, actually. Dustin Montzuris originally is from South Africa and actually came over to race for years and years. We finally made him a homegrown product. We stole him. So he moved out to Phoenix to work with Commander Industries, actually. But he's an international rider. We got Alfadel here, our rider from... You guys are hilarious. You did scare the heck out of us. Rob Greenwald in the house. He's not an international rider, but he seems somewhat international. He wears Speedos, so... Just kidding. I'm going to get in so much trouble. How are you, bud?
I'll wear a Speedo for you, Dawn.
No, don't do it. All right, Chris O'Brien, thank you so much for hanging out with us. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how about you, Dawn?
I'm doing really good. You told me you were retiring last year. You lied.
I said this year was it. This is the swan song.
Yeah, when we do the live deals.
I'm still going to come out and do 1 or 2 races here after this season.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. It's like heroin. You can't just give it up.
I'm just telling you, just quit saying you're retiring because we're never letting you go, okay? Period.
Well, so how have you been, Dawn? What's the good word with you?
Been doing awesome, actually. Yeah, I've had a great year. Had a really great year. Went to New Zealand, which was really cool. Last time I saw you, I went to China right after that, which was awesome. I got a little.
Makes me think of a new version of The Dictator.
I knew you were over there pondering. And then New Zealand was really awesome. I was over in New Zealand for 2 weeks. Got to hang out with some really good friends of mine. So I love those guys. Lisa Dermott.
So you didn't go there on business. You just went there for pleasure.
I did both, actually, which is how I like to roll on my trips. So I went over there for the New Zealand Nationals to announce, and then I got to play as well. I got to hang out with Kevin Retterer, actually.
That's awesome.
I love that guy. He is so fun. Him and his girlfriend, Laura, who I have not had a chance to hang out with her prior to this, Rob. Seriously, one of the sweetest ladies I ever met. She's really, really fun.
Cool. Well, so what do you think? This looks like an awesome turnout for the first round of the Pro Watercross Tour, huh, Dawn?
It is got double of the registrations that they had last year already. So I think it's a great kickoff, and I'm sure you heard us talking about the big news, which is CBS Sports actually going to be here broadcasting. So we're going national.
I know it's amazing. So my last year getting to enjoy this is when we're finally getting back to the good TV days like I used to know in the 90s.
You were there on the Big Red Tour. That was the last time we actually had
and the Budweiser
national
Tour.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty cool.
I remember we had good TV.
Yeah, I know. You were sponsored by Hooters back then.
Yes, ma'am.
I had an awesome
I had a
boat.
little Sea-Doo backing at the time.
Yep.
So it was often a podium or break.
Right. I hear ya.
Those were the good old days. I really enjoyed that. That's when I was peaking with the Hooters national deal and just living on the road.
Speaking of Hooters, I want to do another shout out for Corey Dixon. You get to see him on the water in just a little bit, but Corey actually brought up some swag for us from Hooters. So I want to give Corey a big shout for that. Really appreciate it. We got a lot of great riders. I see Brian Baldwin out there chilling like a villain in the water, getting ready. He's doing a little visualization right now.
Baldwin is having his Zen moment right now. He's got his woo going on, getting ready to assess that pro runabout open. It's really awesome that Abdul is back here. You know, Dean's team, we're making a great showing for Factory Yamaha this year. We're really hoping to put a lot of damage out there on the tour in a lot of classes.
I'm sure that you guys will be doing that again. I see Brian down there from Jet Lift. Special hugs for him. Brian and his wife.
There's no lift like Jet Lift.
Our official tote for the 2015 National Tour. And also, again, cannot talk about that without, of course, the sponsorship from Hidden Trails, our main sponsor, Mike Young, back in the house.
Now, I'll tell you what. Hey, Mike,
Hey, what's
good
up,
to see you, buddy.
Hey, how you doing, Rob?
Good, man. It was great. I want to give another shout out. Today is Cameron Frame's birthday.
Oh, well,
And if they're tuned in, but I know how busy it is because my real job, I work with dealerships and they were behind schedule. I've never seen a dealership open on time. When people are doing a new unit, because I work with so many stores on that, and so I understand why they can't be here. And it's a big shout out, and it's a big thanks to all they do to help this sport.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Frame brothers really coming through here this year on the Pro Watercross Tour for this crew. And I'll tell you what, all the effort that these guys have put into it, and like you were talking about earlier, Rob, what an excellent turnout here for round number one.
I'm shocked. It is like the old days. It is.
It's funny because I was talking to some of the guys from the old days a little bit earlier today, and they said that they got up at the Boardwalk Beach Resort here and took a look down, and they thought the same thing. Man, this looks like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, and speaking of old days, I just ran into on the beach who I haven't seen in forever. Do you remember Johnny Stapleton?
Yeah,
John
he's here. Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Back in the
Stapleton
days
Motors.
when Mike Rogers was building my skis, and we were racing like the Winter Series with Rick Carr and everything. That's when I became friends with Johnny. I still have his old triple trailer I bought from him in 1995.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I can remember I met Johnny in Pensacola Beach during the Poseidon Jet Sports Tour put on by Alex Casulo back in 1994.
No, I remember those days, too.
He gave me the first ride in a Lexus I ever had.
Old Johnny, man. He used to leave a Rolex imprint on every buoy he shaved when he was racing.
Hey, speaking of shaving buoys, I got to talk to Cliff real quick. I was talking to a rider on the way down here, and I guess there's a big piece of rope hanging off the end buoy down there, the end yellow buoy down there. We don't want anybody to suck that up the pump.
Yeah, but you have to be going pretty slow to get pull that in.
You have to ride like me.
Looks like we're going to have a nice turnout for freestyle today, too. There's some pretty new skis out here.
Oh, my goodness. And all of them say X Scream.
Well, you know, when something works, you go with it.
Well, let me tell you something. Those 5 boats that you see down there, you add up the prices, worth more than my house. $150,000 in boats.
Don't you live in a trailer under a bridge, Mike?
That's what I said. It's more than my house.
Oh, man, this is awesome. And, you know, of course, the rumors in the pits. I hear there's a meeting of the circle tonight.
Oh, yeah. Early circle meeting. By the way, just so everybody knows, from the pit board, we did have to split up. We were going to combine the Pro-Am Runabout Superstock and Pro-Am Runabout Open. We did have to split that up because Prince Hakeem Abdullah is actually in both of those classes. So the order, the lineup, folks, just so everybody knows that's listening in at home, and if you're here on the beach with us today, the first race will be our Pro-Am Runabout Open. Our Pro-Am Ski GP will be second. Pro-Am Runabout Superstock will be third. Then we'll go into our freestyle portion of our program. Then we'll come back with the Pro-Am Runabout Stock, the Sport GP, and then we'll go with our amateur races. And as I take a look down here, we've got 22 amateur races this afternoon.
And I'll tell you what, before I go down, I got to go get ready to support my team. But I was going to say, you know, Abdullah, man, running 3 key pro classes. He's going to show what Iron Man is out there on them super fast Yamahas.
I'll tell you what, I seen him walking around the pits today, and you can tell the kid hadn't missed a day in the gym for a while.
No, he is ripped. But anyway, I'm going to head down and go support my team, and I'll see you guys up here for freestyle in a little bit.
Rob, thanks for coming up, buddy. We appreciate you.
All
Don
right.
Dawson.
Yes, sir. How you
we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic because we are just about ready to go with race number 1.
Boom, baby. I can already hear him firing that up.
That's right, the 2015 Hidden Trails Yamaha Pro Watercross Tour.
I'm going to run down and grab a couple of interviews real quick before we get rocking.
We need Brian O'Rourke. Brian O'Rourke, please report to the announcing tower for opening ceremonies. Brian O'Rourke, if you would, thank you, sir. That's right, he's right there, baby. Folks, we're going to go with opening ceremonies here in just a couple of moments. Put your seat backs and tray tables in their upright and locked position because the Pro Watercross Tour is just about ready to take off. Hey, by the way, Brock Austin, if you've got any more of that Shark energy drink, we sure would appreciate some more of that up on the Tower of Power. Boy, that Shark energy drink was something else.
Absolutely not, Brock.
Please,
Mike's
Brock.
already bouncing off the wall over
Jeff
here.
and I are in need. Hey, by the way, Don, also, I see he may have left his post there for just a second, but Paco is located up there by the pit board from 97X, and he's got goodies. He's got like free goodies for people.
What?
Like if you came to the beach and you want a free souvenir, man, I would stop up and see Paco.
All right, if you insist, you can head right over there.
Because Paco's the taco with the Moses.
Did you see that shooting star tonight? Will you get dazzled by the same constellation? Did you and Jupiter conspire to get me? I think you and the moon and Neptune got it right. I think you and the moon and Neptune got it right. 'Cause now I'm shining bright, so bright, bright, so bright, bright.
You know, before we go to opening ceremonies, one thing I would like to recognize is, and I'd like to say congratulations to you guys, because you guys made the statement that they're putting you on TV. Sport GP is now part of the pro show class. So all you sport riders, congratulations. You guys came and, you know, you all bundled together and said, you know what, we're going to do this and we're going to make this class one of the most exciting classes, and you have. And congratulations. Now you're on TV, Sport GP. B-Ray. My homie. Parker. What's up, dog? Nice hat. By the way, I got Brian O'Rourke up here from Team Faith Racing. Brian O, how you doing out there, man? You just got off the water. You ran up here. I know you all out of breath. You're saying it's a little bit rough out there today.
Yeah, it is, Mike. You guys always do this to me. You run our Sport GP practice
last,
and then we got to run up here. But, man, I am super pumped that Pro Watercross Tour decided to put Sport GP in the pro show. Like you said, it just is a testimony to the tenacity of the sport riders. We missed those boats. They quit making those boats in like '97, but it's a real affordable way to get into racing and still go fast, and the class is stacked and very, very competitive. The Broward guys are here. Glenn Jung, the returning champion's here. Kelly Smith is here on a rocket ship. I mean, it's going to be exciting, and I'm just going to try to stay out of the way.
You sound like me now. Brian, I tell you, what do you think about the announcement, too, today that the last couple of rounds going to be on CBS?
Oh, man, from being around motorsports and supercross and arena cross for the last 20 years, I can't tell you how important that is for the sport of watercraft racing, for CBS Sports to pick us up. This is what we've been waiting for since the 90s, Mike. This is, in fact, I had to leave the sport for a little while because my sponsors just couldn't justify the money into the sport, and as far as sponsorship goes, and now it's coming back, and TV is so important, as everybody knows. I'm speaking the obvious here, but CBS Sports is a premier sports network as well, and
keyword network.
Yeah, network TV.
Yeah, we ain't on cable anymore.
I tell you, man, AJ and the crew did a great job putting that package together, and I know if they've aligned themselves with the guys at Pro Snowcross, that's going to be nothing but good things too. So praise God, man. We always got to keep it in mind that the best laid plans of men are futile in the eyes of the Lord, and I got to believe. I'll just tell you, I'll confide in you that AJ, on numerous occasions this summer or winter, called me simply to pray about making these decisions and going and meeting these people. And it's behind the scenes, it's unseen, but we believe we're going to give glory to God for some of those provisions.
And you know what? I can't agree with you more. You know, sometimes you need to take the ball into your own hands and take it to the hoop yourself. Just ask LeBron.
Yeah, but sometimes your talent isn't enough, and you need the help of the Lord to get you there. And I'm just praising God for everything we got going on here, and we got some great sponsors here with Jet Lift coming to the first round. And I don't know if you've seen those. Well, yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, man. Jet Lift also came, and they're supporting my tour as well. You know, and Brian steps it up every race he goes to. He talks about being a watercraft racing supporter. Don't matter what the letters are out in front. He supports watercraft racing, and he has got the state-of-the-industry tote. This thing is the creme de la creme. It's not like any other tote out there, and it's got multi-purposes.
That's right. Let me tell you, you can get a cheaper tote, no doubt, but I have been using these totes since their inception, since they came out on the market, and we at Team Faith had 6 boats at one time running up and down the beach. They're super versatile. They've got a new tote out right now called the Lowboy tote, and it's strictly for pulling on a beach. And man, it's lighter, it's stronger. They've taken some feedback from the years of abuse on the road with the Team Faith rig. And I am telling you that these are great totes. If you want to get a good tote, go to thejetlift.com.
And you say that's the low boy.
That's the low boy, yeah.
Is that for vertically challenged people, or is it's just called the low boy?
I think it's just they may have designed it for vertically challenged people, but Team Faith uses the low boy tote right now. It's brand new, and you really owe it to yourselves to check it out. Fantastic.
Well, let's talk with the race director real quick. Are we ready to go with opening ceremonies? Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Mr. Brian O'Rourke. He is the pit pastor from Team Faith Racing, and he's going to go ahead and bestow a blessing on the event before we get started. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pray. Father in heaven, thank you so much for such a beautiful day, a beautiful race site. We always enjoy coming to Panama City Beach and racing our watercraft. Lord, you give us the desires of our heart when you allow us to come here and do what we love to do, and we're just going to thank you and praise you for that. We ask for your presence here. We invite you to be part of our event, and we ask for your safety and your blessings on the entire event, each racer on the course, and the entire crew, and all our sponsors. We give you all the praise and glory in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if we could get everybody to please rise, remove your hats, and let's pay homage to those young men and women who are overseas fighting for the very right of freedom that we have to come out here and race today. Ladies and gentlemen, your national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Woo! Pro Runabout race number 1 of the 2015 Hidden Trails Yamaha Pro Watercross Tour. We need you to the starting line. Once again, Pro Runabout, and we're actually going with our Pro Runabout Open class. Moto number 1 needs you to the starting line. By the way, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Team Faith's Brian O'Rourke for coming up here, throwing that blessing down before we get started today. Again, if you're just arriving, we'd like to welcome everybody out. Panama City Beach, ladies and gentlemen, the Super Cup of Watercross round number 1. Don Dawson, are you ready?
Baby, I'm so ready. I figured you need a little dance music because you are way over caffeinated. So we're just taking it to the next level for you right away.
Lay off the shark.
All right, you guys, we are getting ready to rock and roll. Our pro show is on deck. And I got some very exciting stuff for you. Pro-Am Runabout Open, baby, on the line. All kinds of horsepower for these guys. And just to give you a little bit of a teaser, these boats, well over 100 miles an hour now when you look at some of these sit-down boats. And talk about cha-ching, a little bit of change. It can cost you upwards of $60,000 to $70,000 to own something of this caliber. But grip the throttle and you'll understand why.
That's right. Grip it and rip it just ain't for golf anymore. And Brock Austin bringing up some more Shark energy. He's going to keep us pumped up here.
Hey,
Brock,
baby.
hey, man, what do you think of the course out there today? I seen you out there in practice ripping it up.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun course. It's pretty rough. The waves are picking up a little bit, so it's been a good moto, a lot of crashing, and we'll see who can charge through and win.
Fantastic, man. Well, get ready. You up next.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Austin from Bountiful, Utah, coming here to claim some Florida hardware.
Yep, can't wait to get out on the water.
Hey, I know you got some sponsors bringing you out here. Who helped pay for the bills?
Well, my parents mainly, but the Queen Racing, Liquid Militia, HydroTurf, Jet Tribe, Oakley, Shark Energy, Bullet Racing. There's so many that are building up, I can't remember them all.
And I'll tell you what, I love to hear Queen Racing in that because Queenie is one of them old school racers, and that kid really knows how to spin wrenches.
Oh, yeah, he's been working on them since he was like 8 years old, but he was an amazing sit-down rider, and now he built me some of the fastest skis on the water. So,
well, Brock, we wish you the best of luck in that pro ski class. Go out there and tear it up. Thanks for the Shark.
Oh, yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, the Shark's swimming up here on the tower.
Something swimming.
Something's swimming. How you doing down there? Fantastic. Look at these runabout open boats getting out there, getting ready to go. I'll tell you what, Dawn, I don't know about you, man, but I already got the goose pimples.
I did get goosebumps. That was so awesome. And then I've also got the Runabout Super Stock. That's going to be 2 of these classes coming to the line in just a minute, and some of the fastest boats on the water today. And that is going to be our first race. So I cannot wait. All kinds of great changes. Of course, you've been listening to us kind of chatter up here, but I have to say one of the most exciting announcements, you guys, is the fact that CBS Sports is going to be broadcasting live and doing a show for us. So we have the opportunity now, once again, to have national network coverage, and that is a huge kudo for us. And, of course, the other great new announcement is we've got the World Championship in Naples, and Paco back in the house.
All right, Pro Runabout Open is going to be coming up first. And I'll tell you what, Dawn, we got 5 very fast riders that are coming to the starting line right now with a whole bunch of horsepower.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, the innovations that you have seen on this particular division have been ridiculous, right? I mean, when we first started this, they were running on, what was it, the 800? I think it was the first one we ever saw, the 800 Sea-Doo XP, right? Was that the very first
yeah,
one?
it was the 785.
785 was the first.
Yeah, and the Yamaha Wave Runners and Pro VXRs used to go head-to-head, and that was back in 1992, 3 ish.
You were trying not to date yourself. Too bad. Too late. So
I can't date myself. I'm already taken.
Oh, stop it. I'm pretty sure you're going to break up with yourself soon, and then it's going to be all open again.
That's all right. At least I'll get half.
That's your circus and your monkeys. All right, you guys, back ahead when we talk on the water again. B class has, again, evolved so much. We really, for years and years, we dealt with, we're just talking about that on the 2-minute hold. One of the reasons for the 2-minute hold was because we had the 2 strokes. Well, not so much anymore. We've got 4 strokes and a whole heck of a lot of horsepower here. So I can't wait to show you guys some of the cool stuff that we have been seeing over the past years in the National Tour. And, of course, this very first stop is bound to be bringing a lot of big guns. We've got Troy Snyder back. We've got Arminio Iantosca back. Wow.
And I'm seeing here 3 Yamahas, 2 Sea-Doos in this first race.
Interesting.
All right, course marshal Randy's going out there, rounding up the troops, letting them know that it's time to come back into shore. And while they're coming back into shore, Dawn, why don't we go through the lineup?
I'm ready. Let's talk about the Super Stock class first. On boat number 8, it's Jeff Dykowski with a... I'm so sorry. I am prematurely calling that one. They changed on me.
Yeah, actually,
Runabout.
and the reason, let me clarify that for you, because
Thank
Abdullah
you.
Al-Fadel is in both classes, so they had to split the class.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's the Pro-Am Runabout Open class, and go ahead and start at the top of the lineup.
Thank you. Dylan Osborne out of Clement, Florida is in that roundup. He's on boat number 247 aboard a Sea-Doo.
And out of Orlando, Florida, by way of Kuwait City, Kuwait, he is on a Dean's Team Racing, Riva Racing, Jet Pilot, KSR Team, Yamaha factory boat. Boat number 30, Abdullah Al-Fadel, Prince Hakeem.
Out of Naples, Out of Naples, Florida, sponsored by Sea-Doo, Jet Tribe, HydroTurf, Villain Clothing, Riva Nutrition Elite, and Inked Vinyl. Boat number 4, Erminio Iantasca.
And coming to us out of Jackson Lake, Georgia, he is on a factory Yamaha, sponsored by Outlaw Towing, Spy Goggles, as well as Hygienics Health Products. That is Mike Showtime Bellamy.
Also out of Bradenton, I love watching you pronounce those. Out of Bradenton, Florida, he's 43 years freaking fast. Sponsored by Yamaha, Riva, HT, Jet Pilot, Neptune, and Dean's team. Boat number 110, the Warrior, Troy Snyder.
And boat number 247 out of Claremont, Florida. He's atop of Sea-Doo, riding for Fly Racing, Jet Lift, ODI, Reeve, Oztech Racing, and Blacktip. It's Dylan Osborne. Hey, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hate to ruin anybody's fun down there, but you see these courtside banners are right here in front of the announcing tower. They go all the way over to the other side by the 9 Hooters boat. You guys have to be out of that area. All right, all of our spectators have to be out of that area right here behind the starting line, because we don't want anybody to get hurt. Again, that is for insurance purposes only. I apologize. I don't mean to ruin anybody's day, but we've just got to step back behind here for the start of the race. After the start of the race, you guys can go back up there and watch the race, but during the start of the race. And for those of you folks who are not affiliated with the Pro Watercross Tour, when these guys come in the surf, that these guys actually beach their boats. So please make sure that you're always watching yourself. You're always looking around, okay? If you're going to be down there and you're going to be really close to the water line, and we want everybody to do that. We want everybody to go down there. We want you to be personal with all of the racers. However, please just police yourself. And that's all we're asking. Little 411 for everybody. All right, Dawn, I don't know about you, man. First race, first moto, Pro Watercross Tour. Here we go. Iantasca. Boy, I'll tell you what, his boat sounded like a fire breather out there in practice. Keep your eyes on that number 4. But your former U.S. national champion, boat number 30, Abdullah Al-Fadel. He was the first international rider to come over to the United States and take on the best of the best over here and take home a crown. So keep your eyes on that 30 boat, too. He is in pole position all the way to the right-hand side as we view it here from the beach, folks.
Man, I tell you what, talking about taking on a big order, he entered in 3 of the pro classes this year. So Abdullah going to be getting a massive workout. And I have heard a lot of rumors that he has been heavy in training before he got out here. He looks phenomenal, so definitely a rider for us to watch.
Dawn, I'll tell you what, this kid eats iron and spits nails. Watch out for the Kuwaiti kid.
He is in tough company between Erminio Iantasca and Troy Snyder. If you cycle back to last year, the battle between those 2 riders, and of course Aero Aswar, who was not here this year.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see exactly where these guys are starting, where the band's at right now, and the way that the surf is rolling.
Right.
They are right there in the whitewater, and that could make for a tough start. Oh, and Iantasca with a jump on the inside, but
I see red people.
That's right, the red flag coming out. We're going to bring him back to the line. Repack, restack, re-rack, and restart this one all over again. That would have been Iantasca with the hole shot. However, shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're going to bring him back to the line, and we'll see how this works out here, Don. Not quite sure who the guilty party was, but let's explain the 3 reasons today why you might see a red flag.
Well, Mike, the first reason that you would get a red flag start is if you have what we call premature acceleration. Never good in any sport, by the way.
That's right, and what she is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is when somebody jumps that rubber band start. If their nose is through that rubber band, then the red flag will come up, and the penalty is you have to come back with a dead engine and hold your lanyard over your head for the next start.
Right. Next reason for a red flag or making you guys come back to the line would be if these guys are not holding their line or riding too aggressively. They will actually sometimes call you for a red flag.
That's right. If you're bumping somebody or if you cross somebody's lane on the way out to that first turn, you are endangering everybody. So we're going to bring everybody back and we're going to penalize you. Third reason.
Well, third reason that you would get a red flag start, the reason we never like to see, and that's if somebody goes off their boat, gets hurt. So if there's a a probable cause, if you will, for the course marshal to put a red flag out there because he calls the course unsafe or something's wrong, then he will always put that red flag out because, again, safety first for our riders.
And no matter what, whenever you see that red flag, if you're a rider out there, you know to come back to the starting line and await further instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your instructions for a red flag.
Speaking of instructions, we have red flag and red people, but I don't want to see other red people. So if you are, let's see, tan challenge, sort of like me, don't forget your sunscreen.
Right. If you are from Ohio, put on sunscreen.
Or Colorado or Utah. Anywhere that you might not be getting enough sun.
Right. Anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line.
I guess I'd be vitamin D challenged. All right, so these guys have definitely been taking all their vitamins. Looks like they're going to line back up on the line. You'll notice that some of them kind of parked out there a little bit, maybe keeping their engines warmed up or chilling. Looks like we got Abdullah getting back in the lineup.
Yeah, you see Abdullah and Erminio already back here on the line.
And I don't know if we did call an infraction or not.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, you know, right before that start, you see exactly where they're at. You can see our rubber band man actually even struggling because there's a lot of white water right through there. And when the one card goes down, that band snaps, and you got nothing but white water. Then that means when you hit the throttle, you got nothing but bubbles.
Right.
So you don't got the viscosity. You don't got the water that you need to go through your pump.
Did you just say viscosity?
Yeah,
Man, somebody's been really working during the winter.
My brain hurts.
Shocked me there. Yeah, so back to what Mike was saying. I mean, the cool thing about the engines and the way these boats work is that the intake grate is basically where the water comes in. The water filters in from underneath the boat, if you can imagine, and then basically they turn that boat into horsepower. It comes blowing out the back. But when you have water that's got oxygen or extra oxygen molecules in it.
Bubbles.
I
like to call them bubbles.
Yep, they'd be bubbles. What happens is it slows down the boat. So if you can imagine, you do not want to, and it also affects them, by the way, if they're behind another rider. So if you're making a pass, we actually call that white water or bubble water, as Mike likes to call it. But it's very hard to make a pass in that because it feels very slick to the rider, actually. And what happens actually does raise the boat a little bit out of the water, so it creates a slick effect. So a lot of times you can spin out, you can flip over on the boat, lose control.
Right, and the thing is at that point, when you're starting the race, you want to be hooked up like a tow truck.
Yes, you do.
You're ready to go.
Yes. Not to be mistaken with hooked up by a tow hook, which would often happen if you break down.
Right. Uh-oh.
And another red flag.
No.
And it looked like Abdul actually got caught a little bit at the rubber band.
Right. Yeah, he was carrying that rubber band halfway down the front straightaway. So the red flag is going to come back out again. And this is always one of the hottest contests here. This Pro Runabout Open Class, these guys got itchy fingers. They've been off all winter. This is the first race back. And you know that the butterflies are hovering out there above the starting line before they take off.
Heck, I got butterflies. I'm not even racing yet. So, yeah, I've got to say, this is by far a very critical point for any of the races. These guys really want to have a good start. The whole shot could be critical. We had just talked about that whole idea with the water. What we call it is you get clean water. So in other words, there's none of that oxygenation happening if you're behind other people. So if you get the whole shot, you'll notice pretty quickly a lot of times these guys start pulling away.
All right, once again, bring them back to the line. Hopefully the third restart, Don, is going to be, it's going to be, that's going to be the one.
You think?
So we've got the...
This is going to be it?
I think this is it. We're going to see who the guilty party is, even though we have a pretty good feeling who it is.
I've got a feeling. But Dylan Osborne back there on the 247. The gentleman's got the GoPro up on top of his helmet. Another phenomenal racer.
Yeah, this is Dylan's debut as a pro racer.
Yep, we saw him a ton last year on the podium. He did a great job on
and
the
there's
national
Mom. You see Mom down there with the cowboy hat biting her nails.
You're not nervous, are you?
Not for the third restart, are you?
Are you down there lecturing? Dadgummit, Dylan, you better not get a dead engine start, buddy.
You know what Mama's thinking right now? She's like, let them boys do about 2 more false starts, and then everybody will have their hand on their head except for Dylan.
No. You know what she's thinking? Dear Dylan, I hope you get a whole shot, and that will be my Mother's Day present.
There we go. Mother's Day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
right, looks like we got a clean start on this one as Arminio Iantasca and Abdullah both making a run for that hole shot. As they come into that first turn, it does look like Arminio. Boom, baby. Now you'll notice they are taking the outside split. That's a gentleman that's going to be pulling the whole shot. Arminio Iantasca is going to get that call. And Abdullah in third place. Like Troy Snyder up in second. Whoa, and one of the riders just going off the boat at Arminio Iantasca, not a part of that crash. Yeah, so we've got a rider down. He's about 40 feet behind that boat. Pull the Mark Spitz there. Again, you're watching the Pro Runabout Open. It's going to be our first class for the Pro classes today. Thank you for joining us for the Hidden Trails 2015 Pro Watercross Tour. Arminio Iantasca, man, this guy has had an unbelievable career. The gentleman in the lead on that number 4 boat out of Naples, Florida. Has been a part of jet ski racing and this particularly runabout racing over a decade. The entire family comes out to support him. Right behind him, Abdullah Al-Fadel, Fritz Kareem, his nickname from 2013. The gentleman that won the national tour, and as Mike was telling you earlier, he actually was the first international rider to take a national title right here on the Hidden Trails Pro Watercross Tour. Back in third, it's Dylan Osborne.
Look at Iantasca. You know, Iantasca did well here last year. He won one for Mom here last year in Panama City.
Yep, he most certainly did.
Hey, by the way, Dawn, this just in, our Pro-Am Ski GP has actually been split up into 2 heats.
Whoa!
So,
awesome.
yeah, the first time we've had heat racing on the Pro Watercross Tour in many years. Now, where it's going to stop at, like if you go back, pro ski riders, you may want to listen up right now. Pro ski riders, if you were listed in the top 10, then you're going to go in heat number 1.
Okay.
Okay, we'll transfer the top 8. And then everybody else go to LCQ. We'll take 2 from the LCQ. We'll take 8 from each heat race. Now, if you look at the sheet on the pit board, everybody from Cody McCallum, who was the first rider, to Josh Block will be in heat number 1. Cody McCallum all the way down to Josh Block. That's McCallum, Carroll, Dave Davidson, McCluggage, Johnny Smith, Copenhaver, Jules Hopkins, Rob Flores, Windrix, and Josh Block. You'll be in heat number 1, which is coming up next. Heat number 2, the pro ski class, will be Bill Haig, Pete Zernick. We've got Dave Redinger, BB Carmouche, Brock Harris, Brock Austin, Jimmy Wilson, and Mike Kilbear. And that'll be, that'll be your second heat. My name's Mike. We're going to go back out to the course right now. We're Arminio Iantasca.
Arminio sponsored by Sea-Doo Jet Tribe HydroTurf.
Hold on, is that Snyder?
Snyder making a move? No, that's Abdullah.
That's Abdullah. And
Yep.
Arminio having issues.
Uh-oh.
Oh, tough break for Iantasca. His boat having more issues than my ex-girlfriend.
Wait,
Oh, wait. You don't have an ex-girlfriend.
right. You're in trouble. All right, so that is going to switch it up. Abdullah Al-Fadel then moving into second.
And Troy Snyder, your leader out there, as we are halfway home. And the caution flag is out as Arminio coming in on the gap. A tough break after grabbing that hole shot and leading for the first 3 laps. Don? All right, just going through the confirm on our leaders. Once again, there will be 2 heats of pro ski racing. As we pointed out, 2 heats of pro ski racing. So it is Abdullah?
Yeah, let me give you the update. When you were back there working on that heat thing with the stand-up riders, it was actually Troy Snyder that was off his boat. So right on that start, they had the battle. So Troy is having to push right now to make his way up in there. But it is Abdullah Al-Fadel in second. Troy is a little bit back right now, but he'll be back.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Troy's had some rough times up here in the
I know
Emerald
what it is
Coast
with
last
Florida
year.
and him.
Yeah, I mean, you never see this guy off of
First
his boat.
race, you're right. First race last year in Pensacola had a massive bondage there going off. Did I say bondage? I meant bond problems because he broke his boat multiple times. He had a really tough break in Pensacola last year. So tough break again today, but let me tell you something. He was on the podium last year, and there is a reason for that. The guy is a phenomenal rider. So Abdullah still leading, and we've got Dylan Osborne in second.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I know that's got to make Mom happy down there.
Mom, you happy?
How you doing, Mama Osborne?
She's not even looking at you.
She's pacing the beach right now.
She lied. She said she wasn't nervous.
And here comes your leader right now. 2 laps left to go, says Nick Handler. And look at him pinning that throttle. And again, as you pointed out, you can tell this kid hadn't missed a day at the gym in a while.
No.
He's out there. He's ready to do battle. This is one of about 9 motos that he is going to have this weekend.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be nuts. Well, I got to tell you, the interesting thing about Abdullah is Shittleman can tell incredibly passionate about the sport. The entire year last year, while we did the national tour, Abdullah was constantly updating us on Facebook and telling us how much he missed this. So it is great to have him back. And again, a special thanks to Dean's team and all the guys putting it together to make sure he can come play with us. So Dean's team, Yamaha Factory Racing, Riva Racing, Jet Pilot, and KCR team, all part of the reason that Abdullah out on the water today and currently in the lead. If you are looking for him on the track, he's over on the right-hand side of the track, just going into what we call the split section. And he's actually going to take that inside split. Actually, I guess that would be the outside split.
And the white flag is coming up either way. And I'll tell you what, this guy's going to have time to pull into the pits afterwards, have a pizza, a Starbucks, and wait for the rest of the crew to come in.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to eat. He's going to be up for so many of these races.
And once again, Alpha Del in control of this first moto right here with Osborne still in second, Snyder the 110 right there in the third spot. Remember, Pro-Am Ski GP, you have been cut into 2 heat races. Pro-Am Ski GP, you're in 2 heat races. If you look on the pit board and you go all the way down to Josh Block, that is heat number 1. Cody McCallum, Jordan Carroll, Dave Davidson, Chris McCluggage, Johnny Smith, Cody Copenhaver, Jules Hopkins, Rob Flores, Mike Wendricks, Josh Block. You're in heat number 1. Everybody else, you're in heat number 2.
All right, once again.
Ben. Hey, Ben. Go down to Josh Block. Go down to Josh Block, and those are your 10 racers for this next race. And then after that are your next 10. Thank you. We'll be transferring the top 8. Checkered flag is out. And how about it, ladies and gentlemen? Your Moto 1 winner here for the first moto. Abdullah Al-Fadel out of Kuwait City, Kuwait.
I'm going to read these one more time for the Pro-Am Ski GP. Cody McCallan, Jordan Carroll, Dave Davidson, Chris McCluggage, Johnny Smith, Cody Copenhaver, Jules Hopkins, Rob Flores, Mike Hendricks, and Josh Block. You are in the first heat.
Hey, now let me get everybody's attention real quick. We got a Hooters t-shirt to give away. Who out there wants a Hooters t-shirt today? I'm talking about all you guys over here in the middle. Who wants a Hooters t-shirt today? We have got a trivia question for you.
All right.
We got a trivia question for you. You ready for this?
Ready, go.
Who can tell me, ladies and gentlemen, for the Hooters t-shirt, who is your 1989 Amateur Freestyle World Champion?
Oh, wow.
Who?
1989.
1989 Amateur Freestyle World Champion.
1989. Does he live in Destin, Florida?
No, he actually lives in Lake Havasu now.
Ooh, Lake Havasu. Amateur champion.
That's right. Hey, Mario. Mario, come on down here.
Mario.
You know everything, he says. Hey, by the way, just a reminder to everybody down here, if you guys don't have an armband, we can get you an armband. No.
I read off.
No.
That was the
first 10. The first 10 going down the sheet. Hold on. Okay, hold on a second. Right.
You are in second.
Rob, we just learned that we had 2 different sets of sheets. Okay? Okay, well, hold on a second. I know, but we don't know what's on the board because we just got what we got. We're just saying what we got right now.
Hey, John Morris.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is what's on the board, so we'll read to you right now what's on the board.
Thanks, Rob, for letting us know that. We didn't realize we had two
Yeah.
sheets till they came up.
We didn't realize that we had two separate sheets, buddy.
Sorry about that. So we'll re-announce it for them, and Rob actually helping us with it, but we need to re-announce the lineup because we had two separate sheets. And we're going to go by what was on the board. So if you check the pit board, go
Hey,
by
Rob?
that for your lineup. Give me 1 sec. I know, Kristen, we'll reread it. It won't let me see it. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me read this to you again.
Hey, Rob. Rob Flores, you are in heat number 1. Hey, Rob Flores, you are in heat number 1. No, wait, this is the sheet. This is the sheet from the board. This is the sheet from the board. Yeah, and Cody, it looks like he's in heat 2. He's the first one in heat 2 on our sheet. Then there's got to be 3 separate sheets. I'm telling you, I know what we're seeing up here. Hold on. We're going to send Dawn to the pit board right now. We're going to send Dawn to the pit board right now, and we're going to let everybody know. We apologize for the confusion, but again, this was handed to us up here. We were going to race 20 at once, but we're only allowed 18 on the line, so we are doing qualifiers. So again, we want to do this right, and we want to make sure that it's right. So we'll make sure that everybody gets on the line. We will not start without you. I promise you that. All right. D-R-A.
Okay, filler information.
Hey, by the way, Patty's Sandwich Shop is located 15900 Front Beach Road. So basically what we're doing is we are going to make sure that that both boards, because we have actually a couple different sets of sheets, and the reason that we are doing this because a couple of the sheets were redone. All right, like when somebody comes up and says, well, I've got a different sponsor, then they redo the sheets again. So that is the reasoning for this, folks. And again, this will just be a second before we've got this dialed in. Again, we'll have race number 3, which is going to be our Pro-Am Runabout Super Stock, coming up after these 2 heats of ski racing. And we're going to let you know who's in those 2 heats of ski racing here momentarily as Don Dawson and the race director, Cliff Roy, Ben Shimbry, get it all worked out who is our stager. So, again, folks, we appreciate your patience. By the way, also in the house for us, don't forget 97X, Paco is in the house with us. Paco, how you doing down there, buddy? Now, you still got any goodies to give away up there? Hey, by the way, up there by the red tent, located right next to the pit board, Paco from 97X got some goodies to give away to all you beachgoers out here. Again, if you're just arriving, I'd like to welcome everybody out to the Super Cup of Watercross. My name's Mike Young, and I'll be hanging with Don Dawson. And Don Dawson, you have the official sheet. Can you hear me now? By the way, also, folks, you're starting to get a little bit hungry as it is the lunchtime hour. We got a big white 20 by 20 tent set up right back there at the boardwalk. You can see it if you take a look back around. They got hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, hot dogs, sodas, bottled water, and domestics and imports.
Check.
And speaking of domestics.
All right, here we go. Here's the lineup, you guys.
Here's the lineup.
Are you ready? Josh Block, Chris McCluggage, Bill Haig, Rick Shirker, Jimmy Wilson, BB Carmouche, Dustin Montzuris, Dave Davidson, Pete Zernick, and Cody McCallum are our top 10 in our first 10. And by the way, you guys, give him a minute to stage because Rick Shirker was still trying to figure out where he was. So, whew, I know. Sorry about that.
Hey, Dawn.
Yes?
Hey, can we go through that one more time?
I will.
Thank you, darling.
Check, check. Sorry, my microphone will not travel. Josh Block, Chris McCluggage, Bill Haig, Rick Shirker, Jimmy Wilson, BB Carmouche, Dustin Montzuris, Dave Davidson, Pete Zernick, and Cody McCallum. Those are the guys we need to have on the line right now.
All right. Fantastic.
Public service announcement brought, which, by the way, I need a lift right now.
Hey, Mike. Michael, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how many are we taking from each heat?
What's that, buddy?
How many are we taking from each heat?
We're taking 8 riders from each heat. Okay, you'll take the top 8 from each heat, and then we'll take the 4 riders will go to the LCQ. We'll take the top 2 from the LCQ. The fastest heat race, that means the guy who's in first from each heat race, whichever heat race is faster, will have their choice whether they want pole position. And we'll be timing from up here on the announcing tower.
Man, I tell you what, Mike, talk about a heart stopper. My heart, all the down. That is really nerve-wracking when you're trying to figure out what heat you're in and they're calling them to the line. So on behalf of you and I both, I just want to tell the riders, thank you for your patience. We understand that was nerve-wracking, and we did not mean to do that to you.
Nah, we did it on purpose. What's that? All right.
Oh, Mikey.
All right, go ahead, Don. You're allowed 2 holders in this ski race. For ski class, you're allowed 2 holders for this ski class. That's right, you're allowed 2 holders, folks, for this ski class. So if you brought more than one friend, have them come down with you. And once again, remember, if you're inside the courtside banners here, you must have a wristband on. Thank you. All right, so I see Cody Copenhaver. I see Hurricane Bill Haig. I see Chris McCluggage. I see Rick Shirker out there. Looks like Jimmy Wilson out there on boat number 300. BB Carmouche is out there on boat number 177. 149, Pete Zernick is out there. 21, Dave Davidson. And the deuce, Cody McCallum. All in this heat right here.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, I'm going to make the call one more time. And you have to mark them down.
I've got it.
Have them now for sure?
No, not really. Go ahead.
La, 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 la.
Go ahead.
All right, Josh Block.
Check.
Chris McCluggage.
Check.
Bill Haig.
Check.
Okay, good. Rick Shirker.
Who?
Rick Shirker.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. That's
All
all you
right.
had to say.
Jimmy Wilson.
Check.
Phoebe Carmouche.
Check.
Dustin Montzuris.
Check.
Dave Davidson.
Check.
Pete Zernick.
And check.
And Cody McCallum.
And check.
Awesome. You're awesome.
All right.
All
We
right.
got this.
Now we know. Yay. Well, gee, that wasn't tense at all.
Nah, not at all. All right, folks, here we go. Heat number 1 of the Pro-Am Ski GP.
Can you say, oh my God, full gate? That is so awesome.
OMG.
Uh-huh. WTH.
Hashtag smell that.
Hashtag what heat am I in? That was fun. All right, so
Uh-oh, I see the ZA1 coming back to the shoreline.
that's the second time. I actually saw them working on the boat when I was down there. Something's going on.
Yeah, that's Dustin Montzuris. He was last year's Pro Watercross Tour champion. And looks like, they might be running down to pick up a backup boat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow, tough break. And you can remember Dustin had a tough break last year at the season opener in Pensacola Beach.
Well, we were just talking about that. There is no 2-minute hold. Is that correct for this? So they are not holding the lineup. And Chris McCluggage with a heck of a great start. But unfortunately,
the red flag coming out again. Well, again, it's the season
first
opener.
round.
It's
Yeah.
a season opener.
I was just
you
gonna
gotta
say
work
that.
out the bugs.
I was just going to say that. I agree.
All right, so once again, Pro-Am Ski GP coming back. Cody McCallum riding for Central Georgia Power Sports. He's on boat number 2. Dave Davidson, the 27C out of Burlington, Ontario.
Sponsored by Dedicated Plastic Tanks and Steel Tech.
That's it, 49 years fast. Great to have the Canadian down here.
Chris McCluggage out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, aboard that number 30 boat. He's sponsored by Monster, Mac Racing, Bullet Racing, Jet Pilot, Liquid Militia, Scat Track, Jet Trim, and ADA.
And out of West Harrison, Indiana, riding for the Yamaha Motor Corporation, HydroTurf, Wiseco, ADA, Fly Racing, ETS Fuel, and Judge Motorsports, it's Josh Block.
Out of Apex, North Carolina, he's sponsored by Hurricane Performance, AMSOIL, Advent Ignitions, 321 Kawasaki, and Imagination Fabrication, and that is Bill Haig, the Hurricane.
And out of Sacramento, California, riding for Liquid Militia, Gold Club, Slippery, Scat Track, Gasket Tech, HydroTurf, 1800 Radiator, Fly, Riva, Synergy Oil, Ultimate M&M Marine, and also picked up a new sponsor last night, Miss Newbies. It's Pete Zernick.
I'm not even going to ask that one. All right, he is on the number ZA1. I know he's sponsored by Commander Industries, and don't have him on the list, so I'm not
Rockstar?
sure. Okay, he's got Rockstar. I guess we could just read on the side of the boat. Okay, so most of them. Well, he doesn't need a whole lot of introduction because he is a legend on his own. That is Dustin Montzuris.
That's right, the reigning national champion. And coming to us out of Reno, Nevada, riding for Ultimate Watercraft, Liquid Militia, Lucas Oil, Hot Products, TBM, Jet Pilot, Scat Track, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, IPD, and Roseville, Kawasaki. It's Phoebe Carmouche.
Man, I tell you what, that gal is, as Marshall Brown would say, a machine. She is an unbelievable rider. Took the title last year in the women's division, raced with the guys, and put on an amazing performance. Great to have her back out here. But racing in the Pro-Am Ski GP, that is an upgrade for BB Carmouche. Can't wait to see her.
And finally, out of Sanford, North Carolina, riding for Judge Motorsports, Jam Racing, Hidden Trail Motorsports, IPD Graphics, and ProWatercraftRacing.com, as well as the Walkendorf family at ADA Racing. That is Jimmy Wilson.
Jimmy Wilson in the house. And Jimmy also with a great story, and I really loved seeing the social media updates this week as Trey and Cameron Frame acknowledging him. He's a sponsored rider for Hidden Trails and telling him good luck this weekend. So on behalf of the Frame family, Jimmy Wilson, good luck, buddy. He's going to do great. What a great, phenomenal rider. He put on a heck of a show last year as well.
You got that right.
You see his dad down there in the signature hat. I don't think I've ever seen his dad without that hat on. So we are just getting these guys re-coordinated here on the start. I'm not sure if maybe we broke that rubber band. They're trying to fix the rubber band. Yep.
So, okay, this is what I gathered just by taking a look down there, Dawn. We have an air-compressed starting line, and I can see that, obviously, the air-compressed starting line has malfunctioned a couple times today.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the manual starting line, and you can see Kevin Scott putting that on the middle pole right now. So, again, folks, we apologize for the delay, but we'll be right back to racing action in just a couple of moments.
All right, so once they fix that, but that'll give us a little bit better chance to have an even start, because what was happening, the other one just wasn't working right? Hey, hi.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
And
Rick is crazy with that live stream. I'm never knowing when I'm on live or not.
Let's talk to the folks that are listening in at home on the live stream about what the confusion was and where it came from and so forth. Basically, we had 20 riders, 20 ski riders. Actually, we had 23, I believe, that signed up earlier today.
Yeah.
So 3 of them dropped out. We had 20 riders. We were going to put 20 on the line. We looked in the rule book. We realized that only 18 could be on the line at the start of the main event. So what we decided is that we would take 10 and 10, okay, put them in 2 separate heat races, transfer the top 8 from each heat race, put 4 of them in an LCQ, and transfer the top 2 from there to get our full gate of 18 for tomorrow.
And how exciting is it, actually, when you look back, and now we are back to qualifying people to get into a main event and on a national tour race, no less. Good morning, Dean Cherrier. All right, so I'm super stoked about that, but that, I think, is what caused a little bit of confusion. And then to make our lives even more fun, we had printed a couple of different sets of sheets. We give modifications throughout the day, as is typical, by the way, with the race. So with those modifications, we were reading off of multiple sheets. We got it all figured out, however. The good news is we got everybody on the line.
The problem is we're full of sheets.
Well, some of us are.
I mean, we had 3. Well, we had
Not everybody.
There was 3 separate sheets that were running around. That's what I mean.
You are confusing the sheets out of me. I'm just saying. All right, so Nick Handler's got them down and got them organized. We're now fixing the rubber band. So, again, we're just getting the first tour jigglies out of the way. It's all good under the hood here. Hey, you know what? It's not like I need an excuse to come out and hang out on the beach. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Banana Boat this weekend for being my tanning lotion sponsor.
I wish I could actually say I had a tan, so I probably shouldn't even acknowledge a tanning lotion because they would be upset with me.
I see Brian from Jetlift down there. He's like, these guys are definitely running out of things to say.
Oh, no, he isn't.
Well, hold on a second.
He's on Shark Energy Drink.
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me. I got a Jetlift T-shirt to give away.
Oh, you most certainly do.
Jetlift T-shirt to give away from the Tower of Power. And I'll tell you what, they got the new design up here too, Dawn. You got a trivia question for us, sweetheart?
I most certainly do. But actually, we've been talking about it. Hey there, hi.
Oh, yeah, Jetlift.
Aw. I see the family tradition is continuing. All right, so I've got, let's see, we've got stand-ups on the water.
Yeah, how about
Let's do a stand-up question.
How about a pro ski trivia question?
All right. He's not here today, but who won at the World Finals last year in pro ski?
Ooh. Who was your pro ski champion? Pro ski world champion. Who is the current pro ski world champion?
And if you don't know, feel free to ask your buddy, because somebody down here will know, I'm sure.
For a Jetlift T-shirt, Mike Klippenstein is wrong.
Is wrong. He's from Norway. Maybe that helps.
Uh-oh.
Is it Norway? Austria. I'm so sorry. Austria.
Yeah. Stien's from Norway.
Stien, but he was not the world champion on that one. All right, world champion last year, pro ski. He comes from Austria.
KR, his initials.
KR is right.
That's right. Hey, there we go. Snorris picking up a win here.
Sean, you were just raking in the stuff today.
Sean Morris, a.k.a. Snorris, coming all the way from the Great White North. Oh, I love that guy.
What'd he say?
He said something about Jaeger.
Uh-oh.
That's all.
Another sponsor.
Crispy.
Another Mike Young sponsor.
Yeah, that was last night.
Speaking of sponsors,
All
again,
right.
a special thanks to our title sponsor, Hidden Trails Motorsports.
Well, Dawn, looks like we're fired up. We're refired. We're ready to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, the one thing that this delay did do is it gave Dustin Matsuris a chance to get that other boat down here.
And
get
he's
it
coming
tested.
back to the line. Looks like he might be getting there in time.
Just
There
barely.
we go. They're coming all the way up, and Mott's almost got his boat turned straight. And oh, no.
Didn't even need a holder on that one.
Matsuris came from the outside. Oh, and your leader goes to the wrong buoy, the wrong first buoy. Everybody started to follow him.
Is that
And is that-
Shirker looking for
That looks like it could be sneaky.
Copenhagen in second? I see Bill Haig in third-ish.
Yeah, he's in fourth back there. You can tell the flying tennis ball. Your leader going to the outside split, and I believe that is Rick Sneaky Shirker. And here comes McCluggage trying to sneak in on the inside.
Oh, Mac attack on the Hunt in second on that inside split.
Oh, yeah, Mac charging.
Is that Redinger in third? Haig fourth. It might be Josh, you're right. That is a Josh style.
Yeah, I believe that was Josh Block. Followed by Haig in the fourth spot as they head on to the left-hand side of the track, folks. Again, this is heat number 1, top 8. Top 8 will go to the show.
And looks like Dustin Matsuris moving through the pack. I do believe Dustin moved into fourth.
Yeah, Mott's on the Rockstar Commander machine. And I'll tell you what, you can tell them guys have been doing a lot of work out there at Commander Industries.
I have heard a ton of comments about that new K1 hull and the K1 boat they have put together, and I cannot wait to get a chance to talk to Dustin about that. In fact, Marshall Brown aboard that boat as well.
And take a look at this. It looks like the Mac attack moving into the lead onto the right-hand side of the track around the sweeper. And, Dawn, I'll tell you, a really big course here for these guys today.
Yeah, this looks like a super course. It is ginormous. And I will tell you, it's interesting that you have the gentleman that actually is born and raised in Florida, back in his home state. He currently lives in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, but no stranger to walking up to the lead. That boat number 30, Chris McCluggage.
Wow.
It's right. That's another one-word thing. Wow.
Yeah, it could be Brock.
That's Brock.
Yeah,
We're
Brock.
taking a look at that second place rider. That might actually be Brock Austin.
Yeah, those numbers really tough to read from
It is.
from our standpoint.
You know, we should have grabbed the binoculars,
Need some IPD graphics.
right? All right, you are watching the first heat of 2 heats for the GP ski. Our second heat is going to be up next, and you were the 10 that didn't get to make it to the first heat. So we'll have you guys line up next. And qualifying, top 8 are going to be going to the final event. The last 2 in this and the last 2 in the next heat will be going on to the LCQ. All right, again, on the far right-hand side of the track, he is taking the inside split. That's Chris McCluggage as the green flag comes out.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this kid is something else. McCluggage turned 40 years old last year, or actually 41 years old last year.
Yeah,
And
got a
look
couple
at this
of
guy.
kids.
I mean, this guy
Oh.
he's an animal out there.
Looks to me like he just keeps getting in better and better shape. In third, we got Dustin Matsura still charging up in third.
Yeah, great job by Dustin. Haig back there in the 5th spot. And boat number 106, looks like Shirker has moved up into the 6th spot. Boat number 912.
Still looking for the number on that second boat. I'm going to say either Jimmy Wilson, maybe Josh Block.
Yeah, I believe it's Jimmy Wilson because he's the only one on here that we haven't seen. And I did see a 0 on the boat. So, yeah, we're going to go out on a limb and say that is Jimmy Wilson. Uh-oh. And we got a swimmer here in the front straightaway, and I believe that
That
could
Johnny?
be the great. Is that the great Carmouche?
Oh, is that BB took a break? The young lady I'd been talking about had a phenomenal go last year, and a great rider. And you hear us talking about a woman out on the course. This is one of the few events where the women can compete with the men in any one of these classes. So it's really cool to see her out there racing with the pro men. And the halfway mark coming out as Matt coming on that front stretch. That's Chris McCluggage leading. Again, the bright black and green boat. And that signature 30 on the side of his boat. That race number he has used ever since I saw him first racing.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these guys very superstitious about their boat.
Uh-oh, and it looks like Jimmy Wilson getting the pressure applied right now. Here comes Montzuris.
Oh, my.
Montzuris with a pass and almost a T-bone steak for dinner.
Yeah, he snuck right underneath Jimmy's shoulder. Jimmy Wilson coming back there and making another charge at him. But Dustin Montzuris from 5th to 2nd, and really to almost not even making it to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Almost last a second. Had to come, and he's on a backup boat, so you know it's not the one he's used to riding out there.
And I have to tell you what was even more astonishing about that start was that Dustin could see it happening, so he was just racing to that line, and the holders were behind him. Steve couldn't even get to him before the line took off, and Dustin Montzuris just made that by the hair on his chinny chin chin.
Chinny chin chin. Well, I'll tell you what, Montz is, again, advanced his way up into second place. Got a lapped rider in between first and second right now. McCluggage, your leader, coming to the bottom right-hand side of the course. Boat number 30 getting ready to come down the front straightaway under green flag conditions here in lovely Panama City Beach.
And timing that surf perfectly.
Exactly. You notice how McCluggage reads that surf. Chris is originally from Naples, Florida. He's from Lake Havasu, but he's originally from Naples, Florida. Grew up in the surf, and this kid, by far, one of the best surf riders I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he is astonishing to watch. And what's interesting about him is he multitasks. So we've seen him in the stand-up division. We've seen him race runabouts very successfully as well. We've actually even seen Chris McCluggage do freestyle. And when you watch him out in the surf, the way he handles this boat, you can see why he is good in all of those divisions.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about surf riders, really three names, come to mind with Chris McCluggage, and one of those is Dustin Farthing. The other is Jeff Jacobs, the jammer.
Jeff Jacobs, bar none, one of the most smooth riders. And it's interesting, too, because if you look at the physiology, it's riders that aren't necessarily all that tall, but Jeff Jacobs puts the lie to that myth. He's a very tall athlete and just an incredibly fit, but the finesse, oh my gosh, the way
and the newest up-and-comer as far as surf riding goes is Mark Gomez. And,
Mark Gomez is phenomenal.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not here with us, but he was the champion at the Blosian Surf Slam last year.
Yeah.
And this kid can really ride the waves as well. 2 laps left to go for the Mac Attack. Chris McCluggage out of Lake Havasu City.
And Jimmy Wilson back up in the second place spot.
Oh, look at this drag race.
And then the challenge as Dustin Montzuris tries to do a repeat on that pass right here like he did the last lap and not able to make that one stick.
Well, again, Montz, you got to ride a smart race here. You got to remember, folks, this is a heat race. You just got to be in the top 8. You got to make the show if you want to get on the box.
And 2 is just as good as 3 on a lineup. So he is playing a very smart race. This is a discipline. This is absolutely a discipline mentality. As Mike said, you are not getting moto points on this. We're going straight from the qualifier to the main event.
Exactly, and if you're really going for it here, if you're really laying it out on the edge and you take yourself out, then that's going to put you in an LCQ at a spot that you don't want to be in because there's going to be 4 riders in the LCQ and only 2 of them going to the show.
That's right. Then the numbers really start to work against you. And add to the factor that Dustin Montzuris, as you say, is on a backup boat right now. So the last thing he wants to do is add any crunchosity to his life. Flag is coming out for Chris McCluggage. All right, as the white flag is up, you see your number 2 and number 3 riders. That is Dustin Montzuris in 3rd, and the gentleman in 2nd on that 300 boat is none other than Jimmy Wilson. So Jimmy in 2nd, Dustin in 3rd, Bill Haig in 4th. We're going to qualify all the way back into the 8th. Going to be Rick Shirker coming through on the split section.
Dawn, white flag out. Not too much time left to go. Mac in control of this one. But who do we got there?
Well, just counting back on our qualifying positions, Rick Shirker in sixth.
It looked like 94, Josh Block.
Okay, so Block also in fifth place and in a qualifying position. So our final two qualifying positions coming through the split section, because we're going to go through 8.
Well, you got to remember, Carmouche went down.
Right.
So she's probably in 10th right now. Here comes your leader. Here comes the checkered flag. Folks, put your hands together for the Mac Attack, Chris McCluggage, taking a win here in Panama City, Moto number 1.
Booyah. What a great way to start your
took-
family vacation.
It took 10 minutes and 40 seconds for that first heat race. So remember, the fastest heat race also gets the choice online for first place. You can either go to the inside or the outside, and that's gonna devil out how all the riders line up. So again, very important to have that first place in the fastest heat race.
All right, so Jimmy Wilson getting the call for the second place spot. It's going to be Dustin Montzuris for third.
So I believe BB Carmouche and Cody McCallum, I believe, unofficially will be the ones going to the LCQ.
Gotcha.
Mott's coming through in the third spot. He's qualified. Bill Haig, the Hurricane,
fourth,
has hit Panama City.
The Hurricane. Don't say that out loud. All right, looks like Block in fifth and Shirker sixth. So that's all the way up to 6 qualifying. And I want to say Davidson. I saw that 21 coming through. Now, BB Carmouche, we think unofficially might be going to the LCQ. We'll find out.
We're going to let this go to the scores.
All right, from there. We do need our next heat race up. It's going to be the second heat race for the skis, if you guys could come to the line.
That's right. So basically, if you weren't in the first heat race and you're
Show
in
up
the
to
Pro
now.
Ski GP, now it's your turn.
Yeah, I was going to do the call, and then I thought, that's just silly. As our buddy Clay Barbie would say, that's just stupid.
Stupid.
That's stupid. It's cool to have Clay Barbie back here joining us.
I'll tell you what, I really like the paint job, the bling job on Jules Hopkins' boat. And there's another kid that's done his homework over the winter, and I'm looking to see very good results out of him here in this one.
Man, I tell you what, he is very fast. Was super fast last year, but we've watched him over the last several years. He's been a very quick rider, and I agree with you. I think he's definitely somebody to watch.
Now comes from a family of racers. Of course, his father, Gary, racing for many, many years and owns a jet ski shop over there in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah, I got to tell you another young kid. I'm sure that this could be no surprise to anybody, but Brock Austin has this last couple of years just turned into a war machine. He's always been a fast rider, but it's just such fun to watch him because, of course, his dad raced. Bill Austin raced for years. They're out of Ogden, Utah.
Sure.
And then to see his kid grow up into this phenomenal talent has got to be something to be really proud of for Bill. So whole family comes out and watches these guys. He's on that bright, brand new paint job. Bright orange boat down there getting staged. Boat number 182 is the one I'm talking about. All right, again, we are lining them up for our second heat race. And Mike, we already got 1,000 people watching our stream already.
All right, over 1,000 people. Like to say a special shout out and hello to all of our friends that are listening in at home. Getting ready for the second heat race here. We'll transfer the top 8 folks here in this second heat race with the last 2 going to the LCQ. All right, for those of you folks that are listening in at home, we'll run the lineup here of this second heat. According to my sheets up here, out of Flowery Branch, Georgia, riding for Blosian, Optima Riva, HydroTurf, IPD Graphics, 100% goggles, Rhino Power, and Jet Pilot. It's JC Jordan Carroll. He'll be on boat number 3. Boat number 72, he comes to us out of Mims, Florida, riding for Trinity Composites, Novitech, Exotic Signs, and Jet Pilot, Johnny Smith. Out of Surprise, Arizona, riding for his father, Bullet Racing, Villain Clothing, Rhino Power, Oakley, Jet Trim, Optima Racing, and Ultimate Watercraft, it's Cody Copenhaver. Out of Biloxi, Mississippi, 18 years fast, riding for Performance Jet Ski, Fly Racing, Roz. And I believe that's it. That is Jules Hopkins out of Lost Wages, Nevada, on boat number 88. He is atop a factory Yamaha sponsored by HydroTurf and Body Glove. That is Flo. Rob Flores out of Wadsworth, Illinois, riding for jetskiwebsite.com, Bellray, EBS, IPD, Jet Renew, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Sportland, Z-Force, and Lock Straps, Mike Windricks. And Windricks, a former pro motocrosser turned watercrosser from Boise, Idaho. Riding for Commander Industries, Blosian, Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, and Reed Cycle. That's David Redinger. Out of Ucella, Georgia, riding for Trinity Composites, Spy Optics, ODI Grips, and Bassett Racing. That's Brock Harris, boat number 182. Actually, Brock is on boat number 182X. Boat number 182 comes to us from Bountiful, Utah, riding for Queen Racing, HydroTurf, Jet Tribe, Liquid Militia, Oakley, and Shark Energy Drink, my favorite. That's Brock Austin.
You are hilarious.
And finally, out of Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, riding atop of Kawasaki, from riding for Full Spectrum Carburetors, Ed Brazina and Company, as well as Bobby and the folks down at Trinity Composites, 812, Mike Kilbearer. That rounds out your field.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Hey, a special shout out for all of our listeners actually on the stream. We actually have already over 1,000 people tuned in and watching our first tour race.
Speaking of somebody that has over 1,000 listeners, we got Paco back up on the tower. How you been, Paco, man? You giving everything away down there? Giving away the house?
Yeah, everything's pretty much good to go. We gave it all away. I got a couple family 4-packs of Wonderworks tickets for you guys to give away and some koozies, 97X koozies, for you to give away throughout the day and possibly tomorrow as well.
Fantastic. Family 4-packs to, what is it?
Wonderworks. It's the upside-down building.
That's the upside down. Oh, I thought that was my room last night. Oh, no, that's right. That was upside down when I came in.
Guys, I got to head on out, but I got to tell you, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you again next year. This event grows, and it gets even more amazing every single year. Kudos to you guys.
Hey, Paco, we sure do appreciate you being here. And folks, remember, if you're from out of town, while you're in town, make sure you dial it in to 97X, the only rock and roll station here in Panama City Beach.
That's right, 97.7. We play rock and roll, the best rock and roll today and yesterday as well.
Fantastic. I like it. Paco in the hizzle for Rizzle. My bizzles.
All right, if you guys can tell me what radio station we were just interviewing, I have a koozie for you. What was the radio station? He just said it. I'm holding it right here even. Oh, come on. I can't make these trivia questions any easier. If you want a free koozie, just read the koozie for the radio station. Come on.
Hey.
What radio station is it?
Here's a hint. It starts with 97.
That's the radio
and ends with
station.
X.
Thank you. I tell you, Paco, it's so hard to give this stuff away. There you
All right.
Thank you.
That's right. We're giving away free koozies. All you need is something to put in it. Heat number 2, top 8 going to the show. The number to beat is 10 minutes and 40 seconds if you want to be the fastest heat here, because that's how long it took Chris McCluggage to go wire to wire. 10 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, so you know what you got to do, and that is the advantage, I think, on the second heat is you know what you got to do to take the right to get your spot on the line is what we're talking about. So the fastest heat rates, those are the guys who will be able to pick their lineup 1 through 10.
Right.
Or
Don't
1
forget,
through
guys,
8,
while you're out
actually.
there, stand up for your rights and your lefts. All right, here we go as we are into the one stage. Nick going to look left, look right, make sure everybody's locked, cocked, and ready to rock and roll down on the starting line. One goes down, band snaps, we are off and away, and Jules Hopkins coming from the middle of the pack. I told you, this kid has been doing his homework. I've been reading up on him. And looking like he may grab a hole shot here.
I don't know. He certainly can. And I tell you, that's a tough spot when you're right in the middle of the pack like that. Looked like Brock Austin had a pretty good start, but in the middle of the pack as they come through, looks like Rob Flores up in the mix as well in that third spot. See what happens. Ooh, is that Copenhagen too? Let's take a look here as they drop into this front slot and go to the front stretch.
And here we come down the front straightaway under Green Flag Racing. And that is Cody Copenhagen out in front, followed by Mike Windricks, 190 in second. Flores, 88 in third.
And Brock Harris
in the fourth spot. Yep.
And then Double Lots in fifth.
Yeah, so we got a double zero back there in the fifth spot. Don't have it here on our sheet. Looks like Austin possibly in that 6th spot right now. Again, top 8. Top 8 will transfer. Top 8 will transfer.
So like you said, this is a game of you got to be able to maintain some peace of mind here, because if you get into a qualifying spot, and speaking of that, looks like Copenhagen having to come back in, and that is not going to give you any peace of mind whatsoever. Something happened to his boat.
Oh, wow. Tough break. Tough break for your early race leader.
That is going to open the door for our number 190.
Mike Hendricks.
That lead with Rob Flores second. Clean water for those two riders.
And I'll tell you what, I've watched Wendricks. He came to a race 3 years ago. I believe we were up in Racine, Wisconsin, his first event that he came to. And he came up, talked to us. You know, comes from a pro motocross background. So he's got the skills, but he didn't know how to make the transfer from wheels to keels. And it looks like he has done a little bit of practicing up there in Illinois. And here comes Flores now, challenging for that first place position as your leaders move on to the left-hand side of the track.
Yeah, he actually taking that split section, that outside split, and saw if he could turn that into a lead, but still in qualifying.
Harris moves up to 3rd. Brock Austin
in 4th.
Or actually, Brock Austin moves up to 3rd. Yeah, Harris in 4th. But you had your 3rd place rider go down over here, and that was Jules Hopkins that went down over here on the bottom right-hand side of the track. So tough break for that youngster.
Okay, so again, the top 10 are what we got 10 on the water, but the top 8 are what is going to transfer. So now Hopkins only has to pass one more person because, again, Cody Copenhagen went out temporarily. Let's see if he gets back in as well.
All right. Once again, top 8 going to the show directly. Let's check with the race director. We'll see if we can't figure out when the LCQ is going to go, because I believe we're going to go right into freestyle. So tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning, we're actually going to do the LCQ for this pro ski race. But coming up next, we've got the Pro Runabout Super Stock class.
All right.
And then we're going into freestyle. So I know that a lot of you guys on the beach out there like when the guys do the tricks and everything. Freestyle, that'll be coming up right after the next race. And again, folks, we appreciate your patience, appreciate you for hanging around. And we have got a ton of racing left for you here on Panama City Beach as a part of the Super Cup of Watercross.
All right, so the gentlemen are in the lead. Again, out of that split section, it was Rob Flores taking over the top spot on that brand new sponsored Yamaha boat that he put together. Rob Flores on that big yellow boat, and it is Wendricks in 2nd. Brock Harris 3rd, Brock Austin in 4th, so the two Brocks.
So Rob Flores, I'll tell you what, I got to give kudos to this guy right here, Flores. Not only one of the most seasoned veterans out there, but on the way here, coming out from Las Vegas, he was coming across the I-10 in Texas. And you know they got big potholes in Texas, as everything's big in Texas. Well, he hit one of them big potholes and lost his trailer axle. He lost his trailer axle. Had to get it fixed all day yesterday.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it cost him a ton of money, but Dale's Jet Sports out there helped him out. And I remember, you know, Dale's Jet Sports.
I do.
Been in jet ski racing for a long time, sponsored Rusty Wilson, another pro ski rider that we'd normally see out here in this class. Came to the rescue, helped him weld up his boat. Aw, isn't that nice?
I tell you, it really is a true family sport out there.
And Flo transfers it to what it
into
looks like
a
heat race. It could be a heat race win.
Yeah, well, let's don't jinx him yet, but to tell you what, we're halfway through this right now, and again, you're watching the second of the two heat races. Top 8 are going to qualify. I will tell you, the gentleman that was in that qualifying position.
Oh, look at this battle right now between Austin and Wendricks. Austin still able to maintain that 3rd place position. A lot of great battles going on out on the track, and with this being a qualifier, you know
it's a little tense. Definitely a little tense. Okay, here comes the final 2 on the transfer, and I do believe it's boat number 72. That is in that final
Johnny
transfer.
Smith.
Yep, Johnny Smith in the final transfer spot, and that's all Jules Hopkins has to get around is Johnny. But there's a lot of real estate, Mike, in between him and Jules Hopkins.
Yeah, it probably got about 7-8 second difference.
Well, that's going to make this very interesting then with Jules Hopkins going to an LCQ.
Wow, from what I'm hearing, Flores isn't even on a GP boat out there. He's on like just a maybe a limited or stock boat.
Really?
From what we're hearing, just a bolt-on performance boat. It's a stock boat?
Is it really?
Wow. And I'll tell you what, that just goes to show you that the surf can become an equalizer. You don't need to necessarily have the fastest boat. You need to have the most talent. This turns the boys into men out here when you're racing with surf and the talent that we have out here this weekend.
And actually, I'd say that again, that's a pretty smart rider because you really don't need all of that throttle. You get a whole bunch of throttle like that, and sometimes it's just going to get you in trouble out there when what you really need is a lot of finesse because you are racing the water just as much as you are racing each other out here. And again, your top three just coming by, Rob Flores, Brock Harris, and then Brock Austin are your top three run. And Wendricks in fourth.
So once again, not too much time left to go in this one. Just a couple laps. Again, 10:40. 10:40 was what the time was from the last race, from start to finish.
Right. Now, why is that important again?
It is important because whoever the leader was in the fastest race, they can pick whether they want to go inside or outside, and that will dominate the rest of the way that the line will play out.
So you get to pick your spot on the line.
And let me tell you this. No swimmers in the water. We need to get our swimmers out of the water, folks. Once again, if those are your swimmers in the water, please bring them out of the water. We sure do appreciate your cooperation in advance.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you this, Don. Let's go back to our splits and what we were talking about. Rob Flores' split was a 5:10, which was 20 seconds faster than the first split from Chris McCluggage.
Uh-oh.
So let's see if Rob gets tired here in these last couple of laps.
I don't know about that. I noticed that he also really took this seriously this year, did a lot of training. He's got a brand new ride and a lot to show for it. So I don't know if he's going to get tired or not. Let's see, though. We're halfway through. Again, counting down to see which one of these heats is going to be the fastest heat. But Rob Flores still leading.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob Greenwald coming up and lending us a little more information. Flores, again, coming out from Vegas, only having about 15 hours of sleep in the last 4 days. 2 laps left to go. 2 laps left to go. Your leader, still Flores, top left-hand side of the track. That's where you'll find the yellow number 88. And speaking of number 88, how about congratulations last week, Talladega, Dale Jr., finally taking it at Talladega.
Boom.
Boom.
Another record knockdown.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, we've already seen, if you do the recap on that first heat, Dustin Montzuris provided a heck of a lot of adventure there as he tried to get to that first line. Now you have Jules Hopkins with a massive issue, and I could just see him coming across there, and you can tell he just doesn't think that he is going to be able to pick off Johnny Smith. So he's in cruise mode.
Now, it's funny because you see when Flores, as he went by, you see this helmet race like, hey, dude.
I know.
What's up? Like he's saying hello on the way down the front straightaway. What's up, Bessie?
I'm sure Rob's doing, what are you doing over here? You look like you're on cruise control. So again, Jules Hopkins going to save it, I think, and just go for the LCQ.
Just great to see the acknowledgement down the front straightaway.
Yeah,
and I think it was a sportsmanship acknowledgement as well. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, thanks for getting out of the way. You're doing the sportsman-like thing.
Yeah.
So once again, Rob Flores in control. And I'll tell you what, this is, after all the hard luck that he has had, I mean, the guy deserves this. That guy, he works tirelessly, harder than anybody I know, works on all of his own stuff. He's not the guy that's a queen out there that has everybody pick his boat up, bring it down to the beach, holders and everybody just waiting on him hand and foot. This guy actually gets inside his boat and works on it.
That's actually a rare thing when you see somebody that's able and be a good mechanic. He's actually a good mechanic as well as a great rider, and that's a tough combo.
It's funny. I'm talking to him, in the pits after the races. He says, Mike, the only reason I wrench on my own boats, so if there's anybody to blame, it's me. It's not, I don't have to blame anybody but me, and that's why I do it. Folks, stand up, clap, make some noise for the yellow number 88, taking a win here in Moto number 2. Congratulations, Rob Flores.
Well, I tell you what, certainly well-deserved after all it took to get him out here, and talking about how his trailer was bouncing from side to side. Wow, look at this for second. It's going to be Brock Austin.
Brock Austin doing a great job out there, showing a lot of promise. This kid gets better and better every year.
Oh, he looks so phenomenal, and it's really been great to watch him. He looked great in China last year as well.
It's like Brock Harris.
Yep, and
Coming through
third,
in that third spot.
Jules
was a
Hopkins.
lap down.
Just having a tough day. Hopefully he
had a
makes
great
it.
start.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, in the middle of the pack again. That's very tough to pull off. Need to have Super Stock up next.
There's only 3 of them. That's why. Once again, Pro Runabout Super Stock. We need you to the starting line. That'll be followed by Freestyle. Alfadel, Dykowski. Do we have it?
Johnny, one of the final transfer spots coming through. Again, we are going to Super Stock up next. Right after that, we're going to hit some freestyle. And then we have got a huge schedule of other phenomenal amateur racing that's going to be coming at you in just a little bit. Don't forget, we've got a lot of goodies up there for you if you get a little bit hungry. And there's all kinds of cool stuff. If you want hamburgers or chicken sandwich, hot dogs, sodas, all that underneath that big white tent up right behind the pool. Bottles of water. We've got domestics and imports. Woo, refreshments as well, right up at the Sand Shack. Again, want to do a very special thanks to the Boardwalk Beach Resort for once again hosting the national tour for the 2015 Hidden Trails Pro Watercross Tour. And up next is going to be Runabouts, but they're going to be supersized and super stock. And so it's coming up to line, and then we'll be doing the freestyle. Don't go away. Oh, that's right. We were supposed to time that. Great question.
No.
I swear
Hey.
Mike just teases you, but he never follows through.
10 minutes and 19 seconds. Flores was faster.
Wow.
10 minutes and 40 seconds for McCluggage.
Alrighty, so what that means is the group that was with Rob Flores is actually going to be able to call their spots on the line.
Mr. Barbie.
Hey, Clay Bobby. In the
I
house.
love you, buddy.
The Claire.
Hey, Claimish Barbie.
So congratulations, Rob Flores with a faster time. He'll get to decide whether he wants to go inside or outside for tomorrow's main event. All right, once again, Pro Runabout Superstock on their way to the line. Boat number 30, riding for Dean's team. That's going to be Abdullah Al-Fidel. You've got boat number 44 riding for Outlaw Towing, Blake Bellamy. And finally, boat number 8 out of Riddell, Georgia. That is going to be my good friend Jeff Dykowski, riding for Extreme Propulsion.
Did you notice he's got a brand new paint job on that boat? He was so showing that thing off yesterday.
Who's that, Dykowski?
Yes, got that new black and red boat. That thing is shiny.
It looks like my golf cart.
It does not. You don't have a golf cart.
I do have a golf cart.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The new Surf and Turf Crewmobile.
I see.
I went from go-peds to golf carts.
I see Alfadel going for the triathlon here of runabout racing.
All right.
Triple threat.
3 riders. This is the Pro-Am Runabout Super Stock class. And for those of you spectators out there, when we say Super Stock division, that means basically that you got to have a hull that has to be from the factory, but you can have some internal work done to the engine. When you go into your open and your GP classes, that's when you're allowed to have the carbon fiber hulls and the seats and so forth. However, this is a super stock class. These are stock hulls right here with crazy engines. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2-card goes up in the air. It's time to get ready.
Let's go racing. I'm ready. Booyah.
Oh,
Red band tattoo on that one.
Exactly. Hey, you didn't even have to pay for it. So Blake Bellamy getting hung up in that rubber band, and actually he got hung up literally in that rubber band.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Wrapped around his neck. And I'll tell you, that rubber band is something that you don't want to hit you. What that? What it's made of? It's made of surgical tubing, high-grade surgical tubing. Yeah. Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, and we don't have spools of it, so don't run into it.
I'll tell you what, Dave Davidson has a little tattoo on the side of his neck from a rubber band start. I'll tell you who else, probably one of the most famous starts I ever saw, was in Valleyfield, Canada.
Oh, I remember.
And it was the pro women class, Mike. Do you remember Kelly Cantola, that super long hair?
Kelly Stir Cantola.
You could see where that story is going. She actually took off on the start, and when she did, she had a great hole shot, but unfortunately, she wrapped the rubber band in her hair. Literally, just yanked her right off of the boat.
Right off the boat. I remember that Valleyfield race. That was a real good race right there.
It was phenomenal.
Hey, do you remember Jeff Jacobs almost got beat by Tara
Leho.
Tara Krisman back then?
That's right, it was Tara Krisman back then. But yeah, actually that was a phenomenal race as well, and it was on the back stretch.
It was the last lap.
Yep.
That Jacobs was able to pass.
Yep, that was phenomenal.
Jacobs is the only male pro ski racer that can say that he didn't get beat by a girl.
On that race.
On that race.
That's hilarious. It was great to see her come back and make her debut once again into racing. So good to have her. And the start is clean. Looks like Jeff with a good start, but he caught a little air on that.
Yeah, Alpha Del airing it out right there. And you can tell pretty little sets coming in right now. Nice and clean faces. But
Speaking of happy faces.
Yeah, but these guys don't want to be up in the air. They want to be hooked up. If you're not in the water, you're not hooked up.
Yeah, some places you don't want to be high. This is definitely one of them. Alpha Del going to take your whole shot as you are watching Superstock get underway. That boat number 30, sponsored by Dean's Team. Your national champion from 2013 out on the track again, and once again on the national tour. Special thanks to Dean Charrier and the crew for helping get him out here, as well as KRS, another team sponsor.
And Jeff Diakowski riding for Extreme Propulsion. Still in that second place position.
Jeff had a great year last year as well. Phenomenal racer. Not the youngest gun out there, but definitely one of the wiliest.
By the way, folks, just as a reminder, freestyle is coming up next, which, Dawn, means we need to get our freestyle judges in place.
Yeah, so if we can get our freestyle judges up to the tower. I guess we probably ought to make up some freestyle judges. You know what? We got to get Brian from Jetlift up here to judge.